Thanks for sticking around. Now, fame is hard to achieve and even harder to spread evenly, which means that sometimes even a well-known director's work can go pretty unnoticed.
Up next, we have Chauncey Baker with one such film by Richard Linklater in this week's Under the Radar. What's the scoop, Chauncey?
Richard Linklater is a pretty prolific dude. He directed Dazed and Confused and School of Rock, and was most recently nominated for an Academy Award for his coming-of-age epic Boyhood. What you probably didn't realize about Linklater is that he has made a multitude of indie films that are just as good, if not sometimes better than those. His first film, Slacker, was a low-budget portrait of the people living in and around Austin, Texas, and has basically zero traditional plot, and served as the inspiration for Kevin Smith's Clerks. I'm not here to talk about Slacker. I'm going to tell you all about his 2006 animated sci-fi film called A Scanner Darkly. First and foremost, go to the video store right now and rent this film immediately. Right now. Pause this video if you're watching it on the internet, or DVR the show if you're watching it on TV. The film stars Keanu Reeves as Agent Fred, an undercover DEA agent sent in to take down the makers of an extremely popular yet addictive street drug called Substance D. His cover identity is Bob Arctor, a low-level dealer, and as an undercover agent he is sometimes forced to partake in the drug. A major plot point of the film is that the drug essentially makes the left and right hemispheres of the brain compete against one another, leading to hallucinations, psychosis, and dissociative identity disorder, leaving its users unaware of who they actually are. Agent Fred, who wears a special suit that masks his identity while he's working at the police station, is then assigned to go after Bob Arctor. He becomes unaware that he, in fact, is Arctor. The plot thickens. Keanu Reeves, while often lampooned for his acting ability, does a fine job with the character, but who really shines in this film is the supporting cast. Robert Downey Jr. plays Barris, Arctor's paranoid friend that constantly goes on about various conspiracy theories, most of them true in this particular environment. This was made right before Iron Man was released, and he is excellent. Woody Harrelson is Ernie Luckman, the chill roommate who just wants to get high, and I swear that wig he's wearing is straight out of the Hunger Games. Winona Ryder plays Donner, Arctor's girlfriend. What's most impressive performance of this film comes from Rory Cochrane, who plays Charles Freck, the most burnout of the group. The first 5 minutes of this film is worth watching for him alone. I won't ruin the sequence for you, but like I said earlier, go out and rent it immediately. The film is rotoscoped, which means that the film was filmed in live action first, but the frames were individually traced over to give the film a unique cel-shaded look. Another thing worth mentioning is that it's based on a Philip K. Dick novel, the guy whose literature has inspired films like Blade Runner, Total Recall, and Minority Report. Out of all of the adaptations of his work, Scanner is easily the most faithful to its source material. It also happens to be one of my favorite books of all time, so that's rare for me to say that about a book to film. The film speaks of an overreaching government, the failure of the war on drugs, and surveillance on a prophetic level. All of the phones and security cameras of this world are being monitored by the government. The film came out in 2006 during the Bush administration, exactly 5 years before the NSA's PRISM surveillance program became public knowledge. I'm not sure whether or not to give Philip K. Dick or Richard Linklater credit for this, but this film is amazing and worth a look. I'm Chauncey Baker, and this has been Under the Radar.